Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. In this video today, we're going to be talking a little bit about TSM once again, but it's not necessarily TSM news, drama, update, anything like that. This is actually regarding the debate, and I think this should still be a good, interesting video. I really want to make this video, so I hope you guys do, enjoy it and feel kind of as interested in this subject and topic as I am, but either way, I just want to get my long form kind of opinions out on this. Talking about fandom, because there's been a lot of talk recently about, fake TSM fans, and oh wow, look at all the fake TSM fans, jumping ship, or all the bandwagons finding a new team, or leaving with their favorite players, or all this stuff. And obviously I've been heated about a lot of stuff recently with TSM, with the LCS, and I always tell you guys what I think. I tell you guys how it is. I try not to hold back. I want to be real, open, honest. I want to be, the voice of the people for the most part. And I want to be, kind of just the guy who gives it to you guys straight. But this is another situation that actually made me pretty upset, pretty heated, and I did feel, pretty disrespected by a lot of people. A lot of people in this video I'm going to talk about I really respect, really appreciate, really like. I'm not, trying to throw shade or hate or anything like that at them. I just want to explain my side of the story and where I am on the, fandom debate, and then get your guys' thoughts and opinions as well, because I think this is, it's not a black and white topic. There's not a right and wrong answer. I'm not saying I'm right and they're wrong, or they're right and I'm wrong, or you guys are going to be right or whatever. Hey, let's talk about it. Definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. With that being said, let's get right into this. So this all started with this tweet from fandom. And again, I really like fandom. I have had a couple, Twitter interaction with them. I've never gotten to speak with them. I've never gotten to meet him. I hope I get to at some point this year. I'm going to be going out to the LCS. I'm going to be going, hopefully, to in-person, esports events this year. Maybe I'll get to talk with him at some point. I don't know. Either way, I've gone on record saying I think he is one of the better people in the, kind of journalism, content creator, whatever game. I think he does a great job. I really respect him, but I did not really agree with this tweet here that he said, if you're a TSM fan and you're already ready to jump ship, you were never a TSM fan. You were just a fan of winning, Bjergsen, a specific player from a past team. TSM had like 10 straight seasons of making finals, LOL. And I get, he's, like using hyperbole there, being over dramatic. They didn't have 10 straight seasons of making finals. And I'll dive into my points in a second, but just clearing that up. If 0-4 and some turmoil is your breaking point, then damn, that is harsh. And I replied on Twitter. I don't know if I have my quote tweet in here. I mean, obviously it's one of these 35. I don't know how easily I'm going to be able to find it. But, pretty much along the lines of I completely disagree with this. Yes, here we go. And my tweet got 19 likes. That's pretty good for me. So I think a lot of other people do agree with me as well, which that's always good to see. But completely disagree. Things have changed. Reggie allegations are a big deal for a lot of people, and that is an absolutely massive thing. That's something that, maybe you thought Reggie was a little crazy, or, had a little bit of an ego, or rubbed some people the wrong way with some comments or whatever, but to hear some of the stories, again, don't know if they're true, don't know if they're false, don't know to the extent of a lot of stuff. Maybe an investigation will come out or whatever, but stuff like that really, really rubs me the wrong way. I hate power trips. I hate bullies. I will always stand up to bullies. If you use an authority position to bully people or belittle people or take advantage of people, you are an absolute fucking pussy, and that is something that I hate, and that really, really, really pushes me away from TSM, hearing stuff like that. Again, I don't know if it's true. I hope it's not true. From videos and clips that I've seen, I do believe it has happened at least on occasions. I hope it hasn't happened way, way, way more than we know, because I think that stuff is absolutely disgusting and really, it didn't push me over the edge, because I can separate Reggie from TSM enough, because I know Reggie's actions are not indicative of the TSM players, the coaches, all the blood, sweat, and tears that everybody puts into it. But hey, that doesn't feel great coming from Reggie. Also, some other things that I think have changed with TSM is TSM was always a leader in esports in North America. They had the best facilities, they had the best resources, they had the best content. They won a lot, yes, and obviously I was a fan of all the winning and stuff, but they had a whole bunch of other things. They constantly were trying to make new changes to their roster. They brought in Sven and Mithy. They brought in Yellow Star. They were at least trying these things. They had this awesome team. They brought in Double Lift. They were constantly, they would fail, and then, hey, they would get a piece, and we'd have hope the next year, and it would be exciting the next year, and we would go in with hope the next year. It never felt just shattered. It always felt like TSM had faith and they had hope going forward in the future, and that was awesome. That was always exciting. That was one thing I loved. TSM was always aggressive. They never spent the most money. They never had to spend the most money because they had this awesome brand. They could get players for discounts. People wanted to play for TSM. That felt great. But it was awesome that they always had this revolving door of cool, exciting players, and there was always a new pickup that I was going to be excited about, and I always knew, hey, even if TSM sucked this year, which they absolutely sucked some years, and especially the last 4 years, they've won a single LCS title and have won 0 games at Worlds. So for somebody like Fion to go out and say, if you're jumping ship from TSM, you're a bandwagon fan, you're only there for winning or Bjergsen, that makes no sense to me. TSM has won almost nothing in the past 4 years, and many fans still stuck around. Last year, 2021 TSM did not have Bjergsen on the team. He was their coach. He wasn't on the team. They did not have Double Lift, and a lot of fans still stuck around. Those were similar enough TSM teams. Even once Double Lift left, even once they weren't winning, TSM was still doing a lot of things. They were still going out being very aggressive. Even when Bjergsen retired, they still went out. They got Power of Evil. They were still trying to make some moves. They were still doing a lot of things that kept fans excited. And hey, you were like, yeah, we know this post-Bjergsen era, it's going to be rough. We might have to rebuild a little bit. Hopefully we'll still get back on top. But hey, we're making some good moves. Things are exciting. This most recent offseason, things changed. Not only the Reggie allegations, we also had a ton of people leaving the organization. We also had the organization telling us, hey, yes, we just signed this FTX deal. Yes, we are, one of the most profitable teams, maybe the only profitable team in all of the LCS. We're going to spend less into this next coming season. Yes, we haven't won anything for the past 4 years. Yes, we have not been the number one spending team in the LCS for any of the past 4 years or potentially ever in the history of the LCS. I don't know. They're not, Team Liquid usually spends more. Cloud9's a big spender. 100 Thieves has been spending. TSM, again, is the organization known for getting players for below their value because they want to play for TSM. Also, Bjergsen was always getting paid under what he could have gotten other places, all this stuff. So TSM, despite never going all in, despite never trying to spend all the money, they told us, hey, our ways of spending a bunch of money and then still losing aren't working. We're going to go cheaper. And I totally disagreed with that because that doesn't even make sense to me. Look back at all these old TSM rosters. 2018 TSM, they had... not 2018 TSM, I want to say 2019 TSM. This year they had, I think this year they had Mike Young. What is this? So 2018, their junglers were Mike Young in spring and Armeo in summer. In 2019, the team had Smoothie and Arcadian on it. In 2020, they had Dardoch as their jungler. They had Kabe as AD carry. There's for sure holes in this team. It's not like these were the best players money could afford. And then in 2021, they had Lost as their AD carry. They saved money on Huni when they could have got Impact. They went out and probably spent the worst contract in LCS history in Sword Art. TSM has never gone all in. TSM has never spent all the money to have just a straight 5-man loaded roster. There's always been at least one position that they've gone cheap, or one position that they didn't have a top tier player at. Since 2017 TSM, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, they never went all in. So for Reggie to tell us, yes, we signed this FTX deal. Yes, we have a huge fan base who supports us a ton. We have all these things. We're going to spend less money on the LCS this year because we've tried spending and it hasn't worked. Hopefully you guys understand. You didn't try ever spending going all in. And telling us, even though we got this new big deal, we'd rather go spend that money internationally. We'd rather go spend that money on other leagues. We'd rather just save money was a massive, massive, massive slap in the face. And that changed. That's not what TSM was before for me or a lot of other people. I know we had this from Loco Doco as well. He said, what is TSM's brand? For him, it's these three. Prestige through winning and star players, insane presence everywhere, and personal relationships with fans. And this is what a lot of people have liked for TSM for the longest time. And yes, again, recently, have they been winning or had star players? Not really. Right now in this most current roster, they have Spica. Other than that, not a ton of star power, not a ton of players that people are all that interested in. Hooney, he's pretty funny, he's pretty cool, people like him, but am I that excited to tune in and be like, oh, I gotta watch Hooney play this week? Not necessarily at this stage in his career. Tactical, another guy. People like him. It's not. I'm happy to have Tactical on my team. I'm not tuning in to watch Tactical. I'll tune in to watch Bjergsen, Faker, Doublelift, these guys. I'm not tuning in to watch Tactical or Hooney. I'll tune in to watch Spica. He's MVP. He's a great player. He's amazing. He's a superstar. But then, insane presence everywhere, not as much anymore, especially, COVID doesn't help that stuff. They don't have the best social numbers anymore. And, personal relationship with fans, hey, the organization hasn't been great with the fans and media. Loco Doco says he would love to see Andy and the crew rebuild the brand back to its former glory. And TSM's core identity from years ago is hard to recognize in 2022. Absolutely agree. Rooting for TSM in 2015, 16, 17, even 18, 19, 20, 21 is different than 2022. This is a different team. Almost everything changed from 2021 to 2022. Their ideology, all the people, just even their goals, just what they even want to do as a team and as a brand, all changed. So to sit there and say, if you are out because TSM started 0-4 this season, then you were never a real TSM fan, that is extremely disrespectful. That is really an extremely disgusting take and very, very just disrespectful to people because, again, coming from my perspective, how I see it is there's two things that are the most valuable things in the world. Time. Obviously, we all have a finite amount of time. We're all busy. We're all, not on this earth forever. We only have so many minutes, hours, whatever as it is. And then money. Obviously, money becomes more important the less of it you have, and who knows? I don't come from a family of money or wealth, and especially the past couple of years. I was in high school, I was in college, I wasn't working full time, I wasn't making a lot of money. Now I'm comfortable. Now I hopefully will never have to worry about money ever again in my life. Things have changed. I'm in a good spot. But high school, college, I didn't have a ton of money. I put so much time, so much money into TSM. You guys see the TSM merch I have. You guys see the jerseys, the sweatshirts, sweatpants, everything that I have. I have TSM mousepad, all this TSM stuff. That stuff's expensive. It's not cheap. And I watched every TSM game for like 7 or 8 years. I watched almost all of TSM's content that they put out all over the place. So much time sunk into TSM. I was a TSM fan. I was a true TSM fan. I was as true as a TSM fan as anybody out there. And to hear them say, just because things have changed, and like Loco Doco says here, for what it's worth, he still likes TSM as a brand. I love how many games they're in. He loves the investment in crypto, tech, and mobile. I like the brand for different reasons than I used to, but it's so silly to read a post about you were never a true TSM fan. And that's exactly what I think. I think it's silly. I think it's disrespectful. I think it's pretty gross. And again, there was other people that said this stuff as well. I know Robert Haynes replied to my tweet, and, we kind of went back and forth a little bit. He said, gotta disagree with you here, my friend. Other than people who left for the Reggie verbal abuse, he says, hey, if you left, you were never a TSM fan. A TSM fan would never leave. And I think that's super weird. I didn't sign a blood oath with TSM. I didn't say, hey, I'm going to be a TSM fan till I die no matter what. I think that is pretty idiotic. I think that's pretty problematic to look at an organization and say, hey, no matter what you guys do, I'm going to support you. I'm here for you. I'm a true TSM fan. One, that is weird for me. And two, that is absolutely not the definition of fandom. In the moment, I gave my two most valuable resources to TSM. My hard-earned dollars, even when I didn't have any, and all of my time. Hundreds, maybe thousands of hours sunk into TSM. And if that's not a true TSM fan, then what is? A TSM fan is only someone who says, hey, Reggie, you can, do whatever the heck you want to do, man. I'm going to support you. I'm going to keep giving you money. I'm buying your merch, and then you're using that money to go make TSM India so they can have a PUBG mobile team that's going to TSM China. Like, there's problems right now in the United States, in the LCS. Our LCS team, our main asset, our big thing that gives you the opportunity to even try to grow globally, is struggling. And you are tweeting out, I would sell my house, I would sell my car, I would sell my clothes to spend money to get the best players in the world if I had to before I let the TSM LCS team suffer or struggle. And then that happens, and you go silent, you don't have anything to say. That's not the old TSM. That's not the TSM many people fell in love with over these last couple of years. So to move on from that, I think is absolutely justified in a lot of ways. And that doesn't mean that you weren't a true TSM fan before. Yeah, and like I said, it's not bandwagoning. It's not just because they're losing. TSM has won nothing over the last 4 years. I was still there. I still was the most TSM fan out of anybody in the world. Doublelift left, I was still a huge TSM fan. Bjergsen left last year, was still a huge TSM fan. And there was a world where Bjergsen could have left this year. And, you know, if Bjergsen left and TSM got reckless and humanoid, guess what? I would be right here telling you about how amazing TSM is today and how I think they're going to win Worlds this year. That's not what TSM did. Things have changed. 2022 TSM is a different team, a different organization, and people are allowed to reevaluate things. People are allowed to change, especially in the world of esports where teams don't have geographical regions. You know, like I'm from Illinois, so I like Chicago teams. I like Illinois teams. I like, stuff like that. But in League of Legends esports or in esports, everyone's in LA, so I don't have a tie to any team. I don't have a hometown team. I don't have anything like that. I just have to find the team that I gravitate towards most, a team that lines up with my ideals, morals, and vision and everything the most. And really, at the end of the day, I'm a fan of the LCS the most. I want to root for the teams that I feel like are advancing LCS franchising, that are making the LCS a better league overall, that are making us more competitive, more entertaining. And right now, that is not TSM. That is 100 Thieves. That is Evil Geniuses. That is C9. That is Team Liquid. It is not at all TSM, and that is why, right now, it's difficult for me to call myself a TSM fan, but I was absolutely every bit of a TSM fan for 8 years. And anyone who says otherwise, again, I think that's pretty disrespectful. I think that's pretty gross. And I really see that as a slap in the face, again, for a, poor kid who was spending lots of money, lots of time, lots of energy, and stuck through TSM for some pretty hard times. Look at the last 8-9 years. People want to say, oh, TSM was this dominant team. They had all these bandwagon fans. Like, no, if you were an actual TSM fan, you would know all the ups and downs that we had to go through. But I don't know. That's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. Obviously, a way longer video. But like I said, I just want to get my thoughts and opinions out there because I was really upset when I was reading some of these tweets, again, from people that I really like and really respect. I like Robert Haynes a lot. I like Fionn a lot. I saw like Captain Flowers tweeting about this stuff too. I like him a lot. I've never really been a huge fan of Loco Doco, but I thought it was refreshing, to see him having a pretty level-headed and kind of educated take and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this whole thing. What do you think fandom is? What's a true fan to you? Am I a true TSM fan? Are you a true TSM fan? I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Maybe there'll be some more rants in the future. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.